Welcome back, everyone, to Goodness and Gracious. I'm Chrissy.
I'm Renee.
I think we need to come up with something different.
Okay.
We always say welcome back to Goodness and Gracious. How boring. They gotta be tired of hearing that. No?
Well,
I don't know. It's maybe
the first of the year we'll find something.
We gotta do it.
Come up with a dancing song. Well, okay, I have my limitations.
Well, you're gonna have to change the bar. Gonna have to change the bar. So
pogo sticks. Remember you said pogo sticks.
Oh yeah. It's coming. It's coming.
She is.
I know. If we're gonna do this, if we're in this, we're in it together.
Oh,
pogo
gosh.
sticks for
both
of us.
Ambulance standing by, please.
Ambulance, call 911. Have that 911
Yes.
ready. Anyways, it's November.
Yay! Mm-hmm. It's hard to believe.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
I can't believe.
I know.
And so I use the word cliche all the time. And I'm afraid that it's going to become cliche for me to use the word cliche, but we're just going to go ahead and go with it. And I was afraid that this month would become just that because it's November. We're going to talk about Thanksgiving, but I have a new title. So thanks and giving. Thanks, meet giving, and giving, meet thanks. What do you think?
Cool.
All right.
Right. When the world thinks about Thanksgiving, I guess in my mind, this is just me thinking.
Okay.
Reneeology,
Reneeology. Listen, that's a plug because
I didn't say the other one. You did, so you plugged them.
I didn't say the whole thing.
Anyway, don't get me started into laughing.
Okay.
To me, just when you think of Thanksgiving, the world immediately thinks of turkey.
Yep.
The big turkey meal, the football games, and then the naps.
Yeah.
Because you ate so much turkey.
I like turkey. I like things.
I mean, as a Christian, our thoughts should definitely not go to that.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Thanksgiving meals. Yeah. I try to contain myself. I don't do football naps, but I love the Thanksgiving meals, So
I think I like the naps.
I just don't think that's what Thanksgiving's really about.
No.
But that's what the world portrays it as.
Right. And that's what the world is. I think it's okay for us Christians to enjoy that.
Enjoy the turkey meal.
But it's so much more than
Yes.
that. It's
Yes.
so much more. And I felt like God had laid on my heart something different for this. We'd like to take this time of year and really reflect on what God has done over the year and give him thanks for it.
Yes. As a Christian, it is time to reflect on being thankful and for what God's done. If he done nothing else other than dying on the cross for our sins, that's enough to be thankful for.
Yes.
But because he is who he is and he loves us, he blessed us so much more.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We give thanks for the health,
right?
The wealth, the abundance, and even for any times of leanness or famine. I think that we should be thankful in all things.
Right.
I'm the Bible's clear on that. Really,
I think it's one of the Bible verses I put in there. Thankful all things.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Okay. Scroll.
So really, thanks, Lord, for what you give. Now, we always think about giving as, what we see pleasing or what's good, what we think is good. But God is a giver of all things that we need. When we get something that we don't think that we want, he's still the giver of that.
Right.
I still want to talk about all these things, okay? I just want to add an element that focuses on giving, and that element's going to come a little bit later.
Okay.
I think this element will really lead us into our topic for December, which we're really excited about.
Yes.
We're actually going to start something different for the next podcast as well. We're getting started a little bit early, and we're really excited about it.
Yes, very excited.
But first, let's talk about some of the things that come to mind this time of year.
Wow. And basically, I'm thankful for the church and what God is doing. To see the excitement on everyone's faces, even the new people. We had new people this morning. I just love it. I love it. I love it. Hands being raised, whatever. But the excitement on everyone's faces when we all come together to work on things or have fellowship or do the ministry work is such a blessing in itself. And one thing our church has that not a lot of churches have is unity in the different ministries we do and the number of people we have. Keep going. I already read that. coming together in these ministries is so awesome to see.
Yeah.
That, I guess that just kind of just does it for me.
Yep.
You just don't hear about that in many churches. Usually it's a small percentage doing all the work. I mean, I hear so many people we see, it's like, you got 90% just sitting doing nothing. You got the 10% that's doing everything.
If it's 10%.
Yeah, exactly. But we don't have that. We used to.
Yeah.
I mean, believe me, we used to do that.
Yeah.
It was like, just a handful of people that was doing everything. And it gets very tiring on these people.
It does.
But our church is not like that anymore. And I am so thankful for that. That's just a big plus for me.
Yeah. When they're pitching in to do from the small, we talk about the ministries that we do. I'm thankful for them pitching in and wanting to do something, clean up.
Yeah.
What can I do to help clean up?
Yeah.
That's something.
And they're happy doing it for the most part. It's
I
like,
know.
what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Where are you people?
Yes. What did you do with our regular?
I know.
That's what happens when God starts moving in people's lives.
Yes.
They want to move up.
Right. Well, it's been taught to us in Sunday school and preached on being a servant and having a servant's heart. And I think that's really where our church is at.
Yep, I agree.
It's all about serving others.
I agree 100%.
Believe me, we're still selfish somewhat.
Yes.
But for the most part, we do.
Yeah.
We do well.
I'm thankful for the church as well.
Yes.
This is a church's life, and I think that it should be. Whatever the church is doing should take precedence. We have to work. We have to do that.
Right.
And God says that a man that does not work should not eat.
Right.
So we have to work, but the things that our hearts desire, even if we can't be at something that the church is doing because we have to work, our desire should still want to be there.
Do you think maybe I don't want to put other churches down to that, but do you think maybe some other churches are like that because basically they're too much involved in the world?
Yeah, I do.
Basically, church is the secondary.
Yeah.
It's not the first thing.
Yes. And it really can't be that way.
No.
There's no way, as Pastor talks about all the time, to live the victorious Christian life and have what goes on in your church as far as ministry-wise be second. There's no way to do that.
Well, I hear all the time, Gary talks to a lot of different people, your church is different. Your church is different.
Yeah.
Well, this is why.
And the thing is, though, is we can't let it go to our heads. It
No,
has to be,
right.
It has to be just as we grow in sanctification, the church needs to grow
Right.
as well. And I think that, we're nowhere where we need to be, but we're on that path of sanctification as a church. So I think there are really 4 camps of people. And I hope that everyone that is listening will take the time this Thanksgiving season to move to a better camp. I just got to thinking about this.
Can I have a nice RV?
Yeah, I have an RV, but that's not the type of camp I'm talking about.
Okay.
Well, I'll get into this.
Okay.
So I think that these 4 camps are: 1, I have nothing to be thankful for. 2,
Are we talking Christian people?
Yeah. Well, I think
Or
that
just
can be
people
both.
okay.
I think it can be both.
Because you see a lot of people, or a lot of
Yes.
Christian people
Yes.
saying that first one.
Yes.
Which
And
is-
I mean, honestly, how do
I
you,
just said it. He died for us.
yeah,
So you can't sit there. That's a lie then. You
Yeah.
can't sit there and say, I have nothing to be
you have
thankful
the
for.
opportunity to be a child of the King if you should accept. That is enough to be thankful for. So I have nothing to be thankful for, people, which could be lost or saved. I am thankful, but I don't know why or to whom or what I'm thankful for these things or whatever. So that's 2. 3, I'm thankful to God. And then you have camp 4, I'm thankful to God and I just gotta or want to do something about it. Like I can't contain it. I want to give. I want to, whether it's time, whether
Right.
it's money, whatever, whether it's witnessing, it doesn't really matter. So I think that's the camp to be in. Not saying that once you get to that camp that you've attained, and I'll talk a little bit about that, but that's where you want to be,
Right.
inside that one. And we have all at some time or another met the I have nothing to be thankful for person.
Yeah, I'll get that one.
Maybe even know one personally. Maybe even live with one. It's very possible that you have someone that's in your life.
I don't
close.
live with one.
No,
but I'm thinking the other.
yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
So our desire no matter what camp a person is in, should be to guide that person to the next camp. Or if they are in the last camp, enrich that person inside of that last camp. So they grow closer and closer to God and teach them to enrich others. That's
Right.
discipleship right there.
Right.
If you have never read the 136th chapter of Psalms, I do strongly recommend it. I say that a lot, but I guess I've never really done a study.
If they would just do the things we recommend.
I know, they'd be good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't really mean that.
I was thinking if I just didn't say it.
Listen to me.
No, we're just trying to help you, but we're still learning and growing on these.
Yeah,
Listen, we need to listen to what we recommend.
Have you ever been studying for a podcast though, and you, God gives you something, and you're like, "Ooh, God, that's good.
Yeah,
that is good."
Yeah.
You know, if they would just do this, and not just they, if I would do this,
right. That's
how
what
much
I'm. Yeah,
further
that's what
would I
I'm
be?
saying. It
Yeah.
doesn't go just for the ones listening. It's us too.
Yeah. So I've never really done, like I said, a study on thanks. But when I read through this chapter, I thought, this is why we give thanks, because He is God, and that is sufficient. And verse 1 says, "Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for He is good, for His mercy endureth forever." And that is the same theme throughout the whole chapter. If you ever read it, it seems like a lot of repetition, and it is, but I think it's a really driving it home.
I like that repetition in this
I do
chapter.
too. I do too. I just
Actually,
love
we
it.
had a preacher come and preach on that chapter one year.
Yeah,
It's been a long time ago, but
yeah. I don't know if I was here for that, but
you might not have been.
it's a good chapter.
Yeah.
You know, in the same mindset of giving thanks to Him. We're giving thanks to Him. Verse 6 says, "To Him that stretched out the earth above the waters, for His mercy endureth forever." So He's stretched. It's a new word.
I think this verse would be so cool. Not that we're chanters, but like, the preacher gets up and then we all just read just the last line together.
Yes.
And just build it up.
Yep.
I just think that'd be so cool.
Yep. And so I was thinking about this when in my Sunday school class, I do first and second grade, not whatever I said the last
You
time.
said something about 12, I thought.
Yeah. So I'm teaching that 12th grade class.
Oh,
We're in Genesis 1. We started in Genesis 1:1, and that's what we've walked through. We walked through the 6 days of creation. And when I started reading this, I thought, we need to be thankful to God for what He's done, what He's created for us. It starts with that. Mm-hmm. This whole chapter starts with that. Verse 16, "To Him that led His people through the wilderness, for His mercy endureth forever." So be thankful because He led His people out. So first of all, He stretched out the earth above the waters. Then He led His people through Israel. There's like some verses in between. Mm-hmm. I just pulled out a few of them. But then verses 23 and 24, "Who remembered us in our low estate, for His mercy endureth forever, and hath redeemed us from our enemies, for His mercy endureth forever." Yep. So if you get the chance, I strongly recommend. Mm-hmm. It doesn't say give thanks in every verse, but it starts out that theme, give Him thanks because of all these things.
Right.
And these verses are for every camp. If you believe you have nothing to be thankful for, you have the fact that He is God to be thankful for. And just because you do not recognize or refuse to recognize the blessings in your life does not change the fact that they are there.
Right.
That's what I love about it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if you recognize it or you choose not to recognize it. The blessings are there in spite of you.
Mm-hmm. So Ephesians 5:20 says, "Giving thanks always for all things unto God and the Father in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ." All things.
All things.
What's the pastor say? What does all mean? All. That means in the good times and the bad times. Yep. When things are going good, when things are going bad, it doesn't matter the circumstance. Right. He is worthy to be praised. Back when I was going through all my health issues, I say that a lot because it's just there. It's just something I've learned to grow through.
Yep.
It was hard for me to be thankful. And I'm just being honest and truthful with that. It was very hard for me to be thankful because I was focused on how bad I had it. And I wasn't focused on the good he blessed me with. I was still alive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even though I was still alive. I still
Right.
had my family, you know, and all these things. But Satan had me so focused on how bad I was feeling.
Yeah.
But it was through this hard time that I learned who he was, and things started changing with my thankfulness.
I love that.
I know there are days as a wife and a mother, things seem so crazy and hectic. I mean, I don't have kids at home, but
It's still,
it
doesn't matter if your kids
yeah,
are living with you. Life is hectic with
yeah,
kids.
maybe your husband's work late, or the kids have to be here or there, or you just have too much laundry or housework, or maybe you're just too tired to cook supper.
Yeah.
Most times.
Yeah. That's why I said, good thing my husband cooks or we would starve to death.
You feel overwhelmed and you feel stressed. There's still a reason to be thankful for.
Yes.
Start looking at it this way. Now, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here because believe me, I have not arrived at all of these yet.
I don't have a horn to toot yet.
I'm still working on this. But start looking at it this way. I am thankful for my husband. He has a job and he works hard for the family.
Yeah.
I'm thankful I have kids.
Yeah.
Some people can't.
Yeah.
You know, I am thankful I have clothes to wear. You got the third world countries that, you know, some of those don't have anything.
Yeah.
I'm thankful I have a house to live in, and I'm thankful I have food to eat. I mean, I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's changing your mindset.
Yes.
That's the big key.
Well, and that's what he says is if we would keep our focus on him, all these other things would fall into place. If you kept your focus on him, then being thankful for your husband would be what you would do instead of complaining about, you know,
I
something.
think people just want to do, oh, woe is me too much.
Yeah.
And that's where they want to stay.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's okay for a short little brief
Yeah.
moment.
Your small pity party.
Yeah. And then get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Go forward.
Yeah.
Believe me, I used to stay there for long periods of time, but thankfully the Lord's changed me and
Yeah.
I don't stay there anymore.
you have a
I
story to
still
tell.
have them,
Yeah.
but I don't stay there anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And you have a story to tell. You know, you talk about, you know, you say, I know I talk about my health a lot, but that's your story to tell.
Yeah.
That's your testimony. Those are things that God has done in your life. And I really think that if you look back on the sickness, you would say, I'm thankful for that because where it brought me
right,
from.
exactly.
You know,
oh, definitely.
From and then to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So Psalm 69:30 says, I will praise the name of God with a song and will magnify him with thanksgiving. And I believe this verse fits right in with the last camp, the ones that are thankful to God and they can't contain it. They want to do something. God makes you want to sing to him, sing about him, and magnify him with thanksgiving. Just him being him makes you want to do that. And I heard this the other day and I couldn't remember where. So to be able to cite it. So if whoever said it hears this, I'm not plagiarizing. But magnifying God does not mean that you can make God bigger. He is already big. When you magnify him, you show who he is and who he is to you, to others. You enrich others and their relationship with him when you magnify him. He's already big.
All right.
You're just being, you know, you're just magnifying him in your life
Right.
for others. And the funny thing is, you don't get to choose what magnifies him to others. You know, I think a lot of us think that we're going to, this that God has done is going to magnify him in my life. That's not the case. We need to be sure that how we attempt to magnify him is pleasing to him. In my devotion reading the other day, A.W. Tozer, it's the A.W. Tozer devotional. I don't know if you do that one. Do you
No, I
do that
don't.
one? He said, the very last thing God desires is to have shallow-minded and worldly Christians bragging about him.
Yeah.
He doesn't need that kind of magnification.
Right.
You know, if you think that you're going to live worldly and not desire a deep relationship with him, he will not let you jump from happening to happening and put on a magnifying show for everyone in an attempt to convince everyone that God is good to you because it looks as if he has done something for you. This is only magnifying it's a magnifying of yourself,
Right.
really. And if you live close to him, all the while desiring to live closer to him, you won't need to get your own magnifying glass out. You will be the magnifying glass in spite of yourself. Everyone will be able to see him and why you are thankful. And it has nothing to do with you. It's simply because he is God.
Right.
I love that about him.
That's just what people need to get to. It's not about us anymore.
Yep.
Just simple.
Yep.
It's not.
Simple.
End of story.
Yep. Done. Let's go.
Well, to be honest, at the top of the list for what I am thankful for, when I kneel down to pray, one of the things I always try to thank him for is who he is.
Yep.
I mean, just who he is. Yes. I have a Cricut. I don't know. Some of you guys might know what it is and some of you guys might not, but it doesn't really matter. But it cuts out things and whatever. And I put different names of Jesus on the wall here, one of our Sunday school class. And when I got to thinking about those, it just blows my mind. Yes. So hard for me to comprehend all that he is. So if you get a chance, sit down. Maybe you're having a bad day. Yeah. Maybe you're having a good day. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, just sit down and write out all the different names that you think of when you think of Jesus. It should move you.
Wonderful.
Counselor. Lily of the Valley. Yes. King of Kings, Lord of Lords. I mean, it just...
Get you excited. Get the juices
If it doesn't,
going.
you might want to go pray.
Yeah. Yeah. If you start going through the names of God, and it doesn't move you, you got an issue.
I mean, when I was doing that in the wall, I mean, it's just like it was just coming together. I mean, it was.
I can imagine.
It was just beautiful.
You put it up there, you're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, Prince of Peace.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just beautiful. I'm like, I can add more names up there.
And it really is. It really is that simple.
Yeah.
It really, really is. Yeah. A heart that longs for God and all that it takes to be thankful and magnify him. That's what it takes. Mm-hmm. I really like that wall in there. You know that I like that wonderful counselor. Yeah. But when I look at it, I mean, I hope that...
I look at it every time I walk through there. Not because I did the work.
Right.
It's the names on the wall and what it represents and who it represents.
I hope that the people of the church, when they walk through there, they see that as well.
I hope so.
Yeah. But I think we are not that we're perfect, but I think we are a church that really desires to magnify him. Mm-hmm. We're still learning.
Oh, yeah.
That. But when you're in that fourth camp, that's just growing closer and growing closer and growing closer and growing closer. And I think that, Sandhill Church is in that fourth camp. Mm-hmm. We just need to continue to grow closer and closer to him and magnify him.
It wasn't like an overnight thing, though. It's taken us COVID.
Yeah,
I think that was really the big turnaround for us.
I think it started before COVID.
Well, it did. Yeah.
Yeah.
But COVID really done a work.
It did.
A good work in our church.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we talk about COVID, but I'm thankful talking about thankfulness.
The C word.
Yeah, the C word. I'm really thankful for some of the things that COVID produced.
Yeah.
Because there's always a reason to be thankful, even in the things that we think
there was a lot of bad come out of it.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of good that come out of it. Yeah.
Yes. We are all a changed people.
God wasn't surprised by it.
No, not even a little bit. So I hope that, like I said, you guys will move to the next camp. I don't know what camp you're in, but I pray that you move to the next camp. And if you're in that fourth camp, I pray that you move closer to him and that you enrich others to move closer to him. And ultimately, that's going to lead us into what we're going to start talking about next week, the giving. It's thanks meet giving and giving meet thanks. If you're thankful, you're going to give.
Yep.
And it's at this time of year when people start thinking about giving. They're thankful for things, and it comes into Christmas, and they're like, I need to give. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk a little bit about how our church does that.
Yes.
How we do it in individually, and how our church does that as a whole. And we're really, really excited and we have a ministry at our church that, from the oldest to the youngest, are involved in it.
Yep.
And
Can't wait.
it's very, very, it's something.
Yes.
It's something to see.
I'm excited.
Yep.
Can we do it today? We're not ready.
Nope, we're not ready. We're not ready, but it's going to be good. You guys are going to get. You guys
Stay
are going to get a
tuned.
kick.
Make sure you tune in for next time. It's
Yes.
going to be great.
Yep. So until next time.
All right. Until next time. See ya.